Welcome to the Headbangers Ball. I'm Ricky Rackman, and joining us right now, Corey Clark of the band Warrior Soul. How you doing, Corey?
I'm fine.
I want to say, Corey was also on Headbangers, I guess, about a year and a half ago.
That was a killer interview, too, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't. I wasn't that, you know what it was? I don't think I was that much into the band then, but I've said it on the show a lot of times. I dig the new album a lot. I mean, it's a killer album. Now, the title is Drugs, God, and the New Republic. Is that kind of your outlook on society today or something?
Well,
like
that's what it, that's what it's, the title is about. A title describes what the album is, actually, and what its contents are, and that's what you're going to get, a cross-section of what's going on in our society, and it's, you can pretty much gather from the title that our society basically stinks and it's going down the tubes,
Is that where you get most of the inspiration from your songs on things that are just like happening you see out in the streets?
Well, yeah, it's, you're living in New York City, so you see a lot of things condensed, and a lot of opinion that is in New York City it's in the country as a whole, but it's really concentrated there. And the basic thing that's going on right now in New York, I think, is the fact that Bush really stinks.
Would you look at yourself as, this is a stupid question to ask after your last comment, are you a political entertainer?
No.
I couldn't tell. I don't know where I get such a crazy idea, because it seems like a lot of the stuff, reading the lyrics, are heavy lyrics, and it talks about a little bit of politics, as well as some of the stuff, the regular rock and roll standards like cars and...
Well, yeah, there's definitely a slice of life stuff, of course. It's like, we live too, it's not like I'm just like constantly just being barraged by media, I'm a media junkie, but the thing about Warrior Soul is that we're radical rockers, protest rockers, and like right now that's what this country needs. We need to wake up and do something about these people that are crushing our rights every day, and that's what we do, that's the gig.
If you want to speak out about it, just go right ahead.
Yeah, I'll try and say what I mean.
We're going to check out the latest Warrior Soul video for The Wasteland, and we're going to talk more with Corey right after these important messages. I'm Ricky Rackman, and you're watching the Headbangers Ball. Right now we're with Corey Clark of Warrior Soul.
And we're having a ball.
Having a ball on the Headbangers Ball. And talking a little bit about the lyrical content in the stuff. And now I want to talk about the song Wasteland, which other than mentions like also a lot of my good friends. We have like the same mutual friends.
Right, hey Jimbo.
Kenny and Michael.
Detroit crew rocks on.
Now Detroit, the first word in the song,
Detroit
Wasteland, is Detroit.
Yeah.
So you're from Detroit, right?
Well, yeah, and for all you people in Detroit, don't take this personally, but I kind of got run out of town, basically, no one respected me, and, there's a few people that I really dislike, and you know who you are, but I'm on TV, and you ain't, so it's tough.
and they're still in Detroit.
That's right, suckers. So, I wanted to write, a slice of life about me and the band. It's good to do autobiographical stuff, and it's kind of like a Chuck Berry approach to writing, which is Americana and what's going on in it, Yeah.
I didn't think about it that, but I mean, you mentioned L.A. cops.
Oh, yeah.
You mentioned...
Well, I was way ahead in that issue.
Uh-huh.
Listen for the second verse, LAPD's got an awful smell, because
They're going to love you out here for that, just thought I'd
well,
tell you.
The police love me anyway, don't they? But the song is about freedom, and to get freedom nowadays, you almost got to be like a jet-set Kerouac. You got to be moving around, keep your address, all over the place, and you got to keep your driver's licenses in different states and stuff. You just got to kind of push the envelope of the law to kind of keep hid away, because they're going to bust you, man. You're in a wasteland.
Well, let's play the video right now, a little slice of life as told by Warrior Soul. Here is The Wasteland. That was Warrior Soul with The Wasteland on the Headbangers Ball, and right here is Corey Clark of the band Warrior Soul. Now, you recently were on the road. I know that right now, as far as rock and roll tours go, actually all tours, I mean, even Whitney Houston, it's real hard for tours right now. People aren't going to the shows like they were. And you were recently on a tour, the Tune In, Turn On, Burn Out tour.
Right.
It had what were some of the bands that were on that tour?
Sisters of Mercy, Public Enemy, Young Black Teenagers, Gang of Four, and us.
So a complete different variety of music.
Different variety, but everybody was totally anti-establishment, so there was like this, content that ran through that was true with each band. and each band was hitting at different levels so that each one was fighting for different rights. And just like, you know, putting people together, black people, white people, and seeing how people would react to a show and if they'd stay for all the bands. And for the most part, they did. And I'll tell you, we had less problems at those shows than I've ever had.
Really?
And there was no fights. There's only 1 or 2 fights.
That says a lot about, you know, things.
Well, listen, black people and white people can hang out together.
Definitely. Like in your band.
Wacky, isn't it?
Now, also, I remember hearing some of the commercials for this, and they talked about, you know, the Public Enemy this and this, and punk band Warrior Soul. I mean, I've heard your band described so many different ways. I think of you just, I mean, I try to think of everything kind of as rock and roll.
Right.
But what would you describe, I mean, have you heard that label before?
Well, I would say we're part of the new genre, the 90s genre of rock, which I'm calling sonic rock, which would be like Soundgarden, Jane's Addiction, Alice in Chains. I put all of us into, it's a progressive, more of a progressive thing. It's kind of a post-metal kind of thing. And I think a lot of bands fit into this category, and you can't really put them in metal or just plain rock. It's more of a thing that's happening. It's coming out of Seattle, it's coming out of New York, it's coming out of LA, and it's, you know, bands like I Love You, stuff like that. We're part of, like, I think it's a new genre of rock, and it's, you know, that's the kind of label I put it in.
Would you say Warrior Soul is an angry band?
I'd say one of the angriest, probably.
Really?
Especially live. I mean, when we played here at your club last year, you saw how angry it gets. I mean, let's face it. I mean, I'm pissed off. I want my money back from this country. You know, it's like they give you a guarantee for freedom. They tell you the whole time you're going to school till you're 18, hey, go for freedom. The minute you get out, it's like, you got to conform or you can't get a job. I want my money back.
When you're up on stage and you're saying some of these, does it alleviate some of the anger?
No, actually, it intensifies
Really?
it. It's honestly.
So is every Warrior Soul album just going to get angrier and angrier?
I
So it's just you up there going, ah!
I don't know. I kind of settled down a little bit on this record compared to the first one, where I just kind of wanted to be more like that big brother kind of trip on you, which I feel all the time. But the next record, I think, is going to be pretty exciting, because the only way to go now is completely radical.
Well, we'll look forward to hearing that, and check out their new album. I definitely recommend it. One of my favorites.
Thanks, Rick.
And thanks for stopping by.
Good.
Always
Okay.
good. And right now, here's another band from New York City that has got something to say. Here's Living Color with Time's Up.